question for you. What does Wolverine, Deadpool, and the Mirage G4 have in common? The answer? No matter what you do or try, you can't make them go away. And we love it. Folks, this is the 2025 slightly updated Mirage G4. Basically, Mitsubishi's volume driver has received some updates, and on this walk around, if you'll let me, I'd like to take you through them. There are some slight updates on the exterior, some slight updates on the tech, but my favorite part, because I'm a cheap bastard, is that there is only a slight update on the price. Let's start with something that you do know and are familiar with, the engine. It is still the same tried and tested 1.2-liter 3-cylinder naturally aspirated gasoline engine that's made into a CVT, which produces 76 horses and 100 newton meters of torque. Now, since it is the same, we can expect the same fuel figures as we did with the previous one. And inside the city, moderate to heavy traffic, we were doing roughly about 14 kilometers per liter. And out on the highway, a heck of a lot better at 23. Although we also did mention that if you drop down below the speed limit and say keep it at 60 kilometers per hour, which isn't the healthiest thing to do, you possibly could do about 25 kilometers per liter. But realistically, 23. The exterior changes include the headlamps, which are now have DRLs found underneath. Quite nice. It does look quite brighter and larger. Another thing that has been added, or other colors that have been added, the black, would be the wheels. These are the same shape, the same size, but now the exterior's basically been machined, so it's a little shinier, and then there's black accents found inside. Again, giving it sort of like a more elegant, a sporty, a stylish look. Same ground clearance, same sizes, same repeaters on the side mirror, so not much else has changed on the side. The final exterior change is with the tail lamps, the real tail lamps. The size has gone a little bit skinnier and the pattern inside has changed in the sense that now there are some cube shapes inside, which again is a nice update. And also the entire tail lamp is now surrounded by a black line. As we'd expected, trunk space is still the same at 357 liters, which is quite decent for a car of this size. And as we mentioned before in our review, unfortunately, the backrests don't fold, so you're limited to the 357, which is still fine. The interior of the car, the materials and the space is still quite the same. The changes that I mentioned in the tech, well, why don't you come inside and I'll tell you about it. I did say that there were some tech updates. Allow me to share them with you. The first would be hill hold assist. If you're unfamiliar with that, if you're driving your car and you stop at a hill and then you want to continue forward, sometimes what you have to do is pull up your handbrake and then keep your foot on the brake pedal while you accelerate and then put the handbrake down. In this case, the car, much like more expensive vehicles, will hold itself for a few seconds, enough time for you to leave the brake pedal and then onto the accelerator so you can go about your business without any problems. The second is active stability control, and if you're unfamiliar with that, basically it gives you more control over the car during high-speed maneuvers when you're trying to get out of trouble and or when the street is kind of slippery. Gives you more control. Now, the last update, which is my favorite, is the price, where it's barely an update. I love it. I genuinely appreciate that there is barely any movement in price from the outgoing model to this one, because the top of the line was previously 929,000 Philippine pesos. Now the top of the line Mirage G4 comes in at 930,000 Philippine pesos. Yes, barely any movement, and I'm here for it. However, the base model, that's where there's a bit of a change, where it now starts at 786,000 Philippine pesos. Head on over to AutoDeal.com.ph or download our app, iOS or Android, absolutely free, to help figure out the specs, colors, variants, and prices of the new G4, and to help connect you to dealers nationwide to help you get the best car at the best price. It only took like 742 takes because Jack, every time I'd start something, he'd be like, oh, there's a fly in my face, oh, there's hair in my face, there's perspiration coming down.
Hey, look,
So
look
unprofessional,
at this.
so
I don't know if we're
absolutely
I don't know if we're
professional.
gonna sama this. Look,
What?
look at this nice patch of shade for you. Look where I was standing the whole time.
Okay, look at this, okay? Look at this. Look at this entire street from up there. Come here, look. This entire street from up here all the way down here, okay? And then he picks to put the car here so that he can stand here. And then he's gonna blame me. What a guy. What a guy.